For 13, we are basically looking at the comma placement in this underlined portion, right? Because that's the only thing that really varies in the answer choices. So let's read it and figure out what we need to do. So we chose, for instance, I couldn't wait to view painter George Seurat's 10-foot wide A Sunday Afternoon painting in its full size. Um, what do these double sort of commas suggest as it's placed here? Not double comma, but you see the commas surround George Seurat. Well, ordinarily you have, some noun and then followed by this surrounding of commas of something that this basically describes the noun, right? It qualifies it in some way. For example, if you had the boy, comma, who was very upset, and then goes on. It's like the boy is the noun right before the commas, and then who was very upset describes the previous noun, boy, right? So in this case, is that appropriate? Well, George Seurat isn't a description of the painter, right? He is the painter. So we definitely want to change the current punctuation. So we don't want a. So then the question is, where would commas be appropriate at all? Well, let's take a look at B then. What if we just have a comma before George Seurat, just right after painter? Then it would be, I couldn't wait to view painter George Seurat's 10-foot wide. There's no separation needed here. In this case, painter is almost like a title of sorts, right? Painter George Seurat, carpenter Bob. I don't know. It's some sort of title, and there's no need for any sort of separation between the two. So the comma here would be inappropriate. We don't want B. But then the question is, do we want a comma after George Seurat? Again, there's not any need for separation between George Seurat and the text, right? Or not the text, the name of the painting. It's just, I couldn't wait to view painter George Seurat's 10-foot wide A Sunday Afternoon. It makes sense to do it that way just because there's not any necessary separation between any part of this sentence. Just like you wouldn't say, I can't wait to show you Bob's car, right? If you wouldn't put wouldn't put commas after Bob or something like that, right? There wouldn't be any commas in that sentence. So here, D is the appropriate answer. We just want to go ahead and remove all the commas.